Again, do I love Cold Stone? Yes. Like, I fucking love it. You can make whatever you want, baby. But, like, I'm going to get it, go home, and, like, watch TV with my friend. Like, not,
Right.
like, fuck you.
Bitch, what I was trying to say is this situation got me so wet and so dry at the same time. Exactly.
What's up, bitches? Welcome back to another episode of So Wet, So Dry. I'm Fiji, like the island, like the water. I'm addicted to taking multiple showers a day, and I work in social media and marketing.
What's up, guys? My name's Autumn, like the season, and I like to masturbate way too much because y'all bitches don't know what you're doing, and I do it better, and I work in entertainment. If you guys are new here, what we do on So Wet, So Dry is we deep dive topics about relationships, sex, identity through the lens of pop culture, internet trends, and also our community's experiences. We post polls and give an opportunity to submit stories for every single episode on our Instagram. So go check that out. Join our community of confused pussies.
Yes, ma'am. And our Instagram is at So Wet, So Dry. We also have a contest running right now. This is the last week. We will be pulling the winners on Thanksgiving. So pretty much you have to follow us on Spotify, rate us on Spotify, and subscribe on YouTube. Each action is one entry, and you're entered in the winning of $100. So today we're talking about that viral list of places that you should not take a woman on a first date. We're a little late to the conversation, but you know, we're here. But before we get into all that, we're gonna start the episode as we always do, talking about what we're so wet and so dry about in this very moment. So I will go first. I am so wet about just like being single again and like having, well, I was single before, guys. I'm so dramatic, but like having potential suitors and shit. Like when I went out.
Yeah, bitch. This bitch moves on quick, low-key. Like, watch out.
I mean, I'm like not completely over it, but I'm gonna get the fuck over it by like distracting myself with other people and like obviously healthy things like working out and like da-da-da-da. But like I went out last week. And I wasn't going to, but, like, I feel like it was, like, good for me to, like, you know, just be out, look hot, da-da-da. And I wasn't, like, planning on flirting with anyone or anything, but I was, like, so drunk and I had to pee so bad. And you would love this because the line was long as fuck. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm getting in this long-ass line. So I went up to the front and talked to the security guard. And I was like, please, please, please. Like, I really need to pee. Like, please let me go. And he was like, no, like you can't, like I'm sorry, like whatever. And I was like, no, like please, like you would be my hero, like whatever. And he loved that. He like ate that shit up. He was like, okay, I guess I'll be your hero. He like let me in. Bitch, after like I think I said bye to him, like I didn't really talk to him. He found me on Instagram and asked to take me out on a date. So we'll see. I haven't gone on the date with him yet, but he came with
You hypnotized him, bro.
I did.
You were like, you'll be my hero. I could so picture that shit.
I was like, and I haven't been in that like Fiji flirting vibe in a minute with like strangers because like I was half committed. But I'm
this
like,
bitch
I
was
really
inside for like
inside.
3 months and
Right.
she's feeling rejuvenated.
No, it was like 4 going on 5. It was a long period of time.
Yeah, okay,
I wasn't
low-key.
flirting with nobody, so I'm just like, I'm really that bitch, and I'm really a good flirt, and I get these men in a trance. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
And what about that?
No, the rush of like moving on, like even if it wasn't like a fucking like year-long, like intense, stable relationship, like it just feels so good. So I'm happy for you. Like this is where you need to be. Like he is not it. We're moving on. Yeah, this week I'm so wet because so basically with my new job, I have to be on camera pretty much all day. Whereas before in previous jobs, it was all kind of like over the phone. It wasn't like on Zoom. So basically, y'all know that I have a weed addiction, like OD, but I can't smoke. Like, I kid you not, I do not have a second to breathe. Like, depending on the day, like sometimes I will have like a little bit, but like there's no time to smoke. Like, there is zero time to smoke. Like, I smoke a little in the morning, a little on my lunch break, but everything else is like after 7 p.m. when I'm off. So I've realized, and although it wasn't intentional, like I am kind of doing like not a tea break fully, but like it's lowered. Like I usually smoke like 10 to 15 joints per day.
Which is
and like
insane.
when I'm working, it's like It's like literally like 4 to 6, like probably like 5 capping it, honestly. So I've just noticed that like my energy's been really good. Like I'm not officially diagnosed as like bipolar or anything, but like I do feel like I have spritzes of like mania, and like my therapist like does agree. So I've been feeling that bitch because I got brand new energy. Like weed makes you so tired, and I am like awake now, and it's like weird. So I'm wet about that. And usually when I hear like people on a podcast or in a TikTok like talking about like I took a weed break and I feel great, I'm literally like fuck you, like shut the fuck up. So like if you feel like that as I'm saying this, like I feel you, so it's fine. But like genuinely, like my energy is better, like I can't lie, like it is. So I'm wet about that.
No, it's so clear, guys. Like every FaceTime call I've had with Autumn this week, she's just been like happier, like on the move, like go, go, go. And like part of it's the job. Like I think part of it was the eclipse in Taurus too. Like there's some spiritual
I think
shit.
so too.
But definitely like you just seem like happier and lighter. So I love that for you. We love realizing shit, you know?
We love that.
I'm so dry about, honestly, I don't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving, which I didn't last year either, but my friend Sean, who lives in Nashville now, like we had gone to like one of his friends' places and like found something. So I still don't have Thanksgiving plans, and I don't really give a fuck. Like it's just another day for me, honestly, but like I kind of want the food. So if anyone wants to invite me to their fucking Thanksgiving, like first date vibes, like I can pretend to be your long-term girlfriend. I don't know. Like I just want to be at a table. So
yeah, the food is just so good. Like whatever your spread is, whatever you make, it's always good. So yeah, bitch, I hope you find somewhere to go. If not, we can FaceTime.
I mean, we're gonna anyway, because we're gonna be on Instagram Live pulling the winners of our contest. So regardless of where I'm at, I'm gonna still, you know, be doing that. But like hopefully if you're listening, this comes out I think a week before Thanksgiving. If you live in Atlanta and you want to invite me to your Thanksgiving, I would greatly appreciate it.
And I'm so dry. This is kind of a downer, y'all, but like money just be tight, you feel me? Like I was unemployed for a little bit, so you know how it is. But you know, it's like great because like I don't have money to like order food, so I have been like eating better, which is we love
that.
So yeah, it just sucks, like money problems. It just kind of like makes you like feel off, and like it kind of just affects everything, like how men are with their money. Like I honestly feel the same. Like it's just like not good. I think we all kind of feel that, like no matter what your gender is. I'm in the same
boat right now too with my money. I'm like stingy, like on a budget, like cannot go out. Like
it just sucks. Like I don't even have a lighter right now. Like I could afford a lighter, you feel me? But it's like I don't want to pay for a lighter, so I'm using a torch. Like it's the little things, but it's just like fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I have a lot of nice stuff. Like I'm just gonna hold it down for a minute and we'll get back on track. Like I'm not worried, but it sucks. You know?
It sucks for the time being, but we're manifesting more money coming in, bitches.
Always. I got my money plan, like
money comes to me easily. What is it? Money comes
it's like money.
Okay, guys, so today we're talking about first dates. We're talking about that viral list that went viral on TikTok about places you shouldn't go based off the main TikTok from the woman who was taken to the Cheesecake Factory on a first date and said, fuck the Cheesecake Factory, this is insane, why would you take me here? We're talking about all of that. We're talking about what makes a first date good, what types of people we would not go on first dates with. We have listener stories, we have polls, we have all of the things. But let's start it off with some polls asking you guys. Go ahead, Autumn.
We go to you guys as always, like we said. So we got some polls to get through, but this first one, we just asked y'all, like, have you ever been on a bad date? And I honestly thought the yes would be higher, but it was only yes said 61%, still the majority, and no said 29%. But I'm just like, you have never been on one? Like, that's pretty, but it's like, people, maybe they don't go on dates, you know what I mean? Like that.
Or they've been in long-term relationships for like a while, you know?
Right, or they're just like very selective. Like some people like to kind of date for fun and just like get out there. And some people, it's like very serious to them if they like make a date. So they have to be like really sure. Like everyone's different. So I guess it's fine. But like I definitely have been on bad first dates. And I feel like they always come from dating apps.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been on some really fucking bad first dates. I feel like, go ahead.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but like honestly, a lot of my bad first dates like were kind of with women, and it was because like we'll get into what makes a first date bad, but it was because like we were both just like femme and submissive, so it was just kind of like awkward, and like I don't know if they expect me to be like different, but I'm like, girl, just because I have been queer for a while, like I'm not your daddy.
Yeah, you give very femme vibes. Like I mean,
Right.
there was like an era back in college where you were like a little bit edgier, like wore some more androgynous things. Where I could see that. So maybe that makes sense. But yeah, I didn't really start going on dates, guys, until recently. Like my standards, like I said, I've been raising them. But like I went on a lot of hangouts, which I don't know if we would consider that like a date or
right. Like what is a date in 2023?
Like, what is a date? Because, like, you could, like, fuck somebody after, like, the bar, and that's, like, your first time, like, being with them, and that could be really bad, but that's, like, a one-night stand and not really a date. So, like, I don't know. But I've definitely, like, I told the story on the podcast before about the date I went on to the movie theater with this guy that he probably found me from Hinge and then messaged me on Instagram. The escalators guy that was afraid of the escalators. He fucking, like, it was altogether bad. And I left, guys. I dipped out because I was not about to waste my fucking time. And that's kind of the energy I feel like I've had lately and probably will continue to have. If I don't like it, I would probably leave. Maybe that's toxic. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm, like, thinking about it, and I honestly think the only dates with a man I've been on are, like, with my, like, ex-partner. Like, I don't think I've ever been on a date with a guy that, like, wasn't him. Like, it's really just been women. But, like, I've been on a lot of, like, meetups. Because, like, in the queer community, like, I feel like for straight people, sometimes dates just kind of go away. Like, when I first met my ex, like, it wasn't a date. We literally met up at his place at 4 a.m. and fucked. Like, that wasn't a date. But, like, with most women that I've been into, like, we went on real dates. Like, you know, that was what we did.
Yeah, and that's the thing I've come to realize, like, as I've gotten older, too, because I've done a lot of just, like, hangouts with guys. Like, I remember one last year, like, this guy picked me up. We went and got a bottle, and, like, I wanted to go do something, and we ended up going back to my place and, like, asking each other questions and ended up fucking. Like, another guy, like, similar shit, and, like, I feel like a lot of guys don't like to put effort into dates. Like, it's just like, you're right, in the queer community, all the women I've talked to on Hinge, like, it was much more like we were planning something or like we were going to go like do something. In fact, I was overwhelmed because some of the women wanted to have like a whole day together. They were like, okay, let's get coffee and then we're going to go to the park and then we're going to paint and then we're going to do this. And I'm like, whoa. But I do think there's a thing right now where women are expecting men to do more for first dates because we're sick of y'all just getting a fucking bottle and driving around. Like, bitch, stop.
I know. Like, it really just depends on, like, what vibe you're in. Like, if you're just trying to kind of be messy and chill and fuck, then, like, it's fine. But I think, like, especially, like, women our age, it's like we're kind of done with that. Like, now it's like we're so... And that's on growth, but it's like we're more careful with our time. So it's like if we're going to hang out, like, it needs to be a date. Like, we need to talk, we need to eat, sit down, like, whatever it is. But, yeah.
Yeah, and especially the first one. Like, I was actually talking to one of our followers on TikTok who we've connected with, and he had sent this to me and was like, oh, this would be a good topic. He's probably going to do it on his podcast, too. And he was saying, like, the first date is really, like, an investment, and I think that's so true. Like, I would love to drive around and just, like, get lit and, like, do whatever, like, on our fifth date or when we're, like, dating for a while and, like, that we're more chill and it's more fun. But, like, on the first date, you need to come with a certain type of energy that shows that you're taking this seriously. You know?
Like, this is our first, like, meetup, like, the first impression. Like, maybe you guys have met in person, maybe you haven't. Like, it's, you know, a big deal. It's, like, I don't know you yet. So it's like, I want to see, like, what you can do for me. And, like, that's not in an egotistical way. Like, everyone should have that mindset. Like, the fuck?
Right. And it shows how much you value my time from the beginning. Like, it really is, like, the whole investment thing. Because it's not like, I mean, some women, I wish I was more like them, expect, like, oh, you need to spend $2,000 on me before I have sex with you. Like, I've heard that before. Like, you need to, like, do this amount of shit before I commit to you. But, like, I feel like most people just want to be like, oh, like, this person put some thought into where they took me the first time.
Right.
getting into this whole list, so like I kind of mentioned before, this really came about from a woman. I forget her TikTok and name and stuff, but I will plug it in the description. She went on a date to the Cheesecake Factory and took a video at the date in the car, like talking to the audience about what the fuck, why would he take me to the Cheesecake Factory? This is not an appropriate place for a date. And my question with that whole thing is like, I forget if she said this in the video, but like, why wouldn't you ask where you're going? Like, I want to know where the fuck we're going.
What are the plans? Like,
yeah, like,
what are we doing?
There's no surprises on a first date unless you want to, like, you go to dinner and then you're like, oh, let me show you this, whatever. I don't know. But you need to know, I need to know where the fuck you're taking me. But anyway, so number 1 on this list is the Cheesecake Factory.
And I'm like, maybe this is controversial and like I'm just like a tourist and like love food, but like what's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory?
Honestly?
Like I don't want to sit inside because I do feel like it's like loud and shit, but like there's this one in LA with like patio seating and like me and my roommate go there, like it's a whole vibe. Like their drinks are strong. Like I feel like it would be like, what's wrong with it?
I love that I've only been a couple times, but I remember like my best friend from high school, like her like 16th or 18th birthday, like me and her went to the Cheesecake Factory because that's where she wanted to go and had like a really nice dinner with like multiple courses, and it was like bougie as fuck. It felt cool. Like, I mean, I was younger back then, but like I don't think the Cheesecake Factory is bad.
I understand, like, do you think this woman was probably like, it's not fancy enough? Because, like, I get that, but, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Because, honestly, like, on the whole fancy thing, so, like, I've gone on, like, I've gone on other fancy dates when I was in London, but like the most recent fancy date I went to, he took me to a really nice restaurant in Inman Park. It was that Lebanese restaurant, and he was from Lebanon, so he had money. He was like a business consultant. He was like 10 years older than me, and it was a really nice like fancy date. He picked me up in an Uber Black. Like he bought me 2 bottles of wine and 2 packs of cigarettes to go home with after. I don't know why I ghosted him. Like I really need him back in my fucking
What is
life.
wrong with you?
You were actually there when I met him. I met him at MJQ when you were here for
in Atlanta?
New Year's. Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, and the thing was, after he did try to fuck me, he was respectful, and he like we went back to his place to drink a little bit more wine, and like he wanted to fuck, and I was just like nah, but like we made out and stuff, and then I left. But I don't know, I ghosted him. I really shouldn't have, because he put effort in, and we didn't have a whole dinner. Like we just kind of did like apps and drinks and like talks, but it was still like we dressed up, like it was like nice, like it felt like a real mature date.
I want one of those. I want to go on one of those.
No, honestly, probably to this day, that was the best date I've been on, the best first date. So guys, again, I'm always emotionally unavailable, and I don't know why I ghosted him, but maybe I should hit him back up.
That's fucking lit. But I feel like the next 3, like Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, and even Olive Garden, I love Olive Garden, but like when I go to Olive Garden, like I just want to like eat so much that I feel like sick and go into a food coma.
Yeah,
I don't want to like be dainty at Olive Garden. You know what I mean? Like not that you need to be,
Chili's, but okay, Chipotle is definitely a fucking no, because that's not even like a like you have.
What
to
is
for a
that?
table.
Are we taking it to go? Like
No.
I don't really sit at Chipotle like that. You know?
Yeah, and that's not really good for your stomach. Like on a first date, like nah, like. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been to Applebee's in a minute, but they have that crazy ass drink special.
But just
right
like
now.
the Applebee vibe, I would be like,
No.
this is like the 99, like on the East Coast.
Yes, yeah,
Which
like,
I,
no.
again, love the 99.
Mhm.
I would not want to go there for a first date. It's like old people go there. It's like it's a different.
We can go like on our 5th date on a Tuesday when we know each other. And
On
we're
a
like, let's get
Tuesday, exactly.
cheap drink.
We're not going
cheap
to
drinks.
we're not going to Applebee's at Friday night at 8 p.m., bro. Like we're
No,
not.
Are you? Yeah, no. Those are like relationship dates. Those are not first dates. Okay, next
Right, because
one.
it's like really casual. Like
Too
it's
casual,
the
like-
investment.
But the
like you
only
said.
thing I could see is like if it's someone that you've known for a long time, like say it's someone you've been like friends with, or like like maybe like either someone from your high school or like someone in your social circles that like you guys kind of realized you had feelings for each other and you're trying to like keep it casual to see, I feel like then maybe Chili's is appropriate or something.
Yeah, especially if it's like one of those dates where it's like you said, you've been friends for a really long time and like you like decide, maybe you hang out in groups all the time. You've never hung out one-on-one. You decide to, he asks you or she asks you, they ask you just to go to Chili's like alone. And you're like, oh shit, we've never hung out alone. It's like, that's different. So yeah, I feel you. It's like, we never met before. We met on a dating app. You want to take me to Chili's? No, bro. But like, exactly. It's all circumstantial. And it's like, maybe Applebee's is this bitch's favorite restaurant. And he's like, all right, let's go to Applebee's. So it depends. Yeah. But I feel like this is like if they come up with it without having information, it's like what's going on.
Yeah, no. We are not going to any of those places on our first date. The next one is the movies. Like, I have been on 2 movie dates for my first dates. One, I told you guys I left because it was fucking awful.
Escalator boy.
Escalator, da-da-da. The other one, this is the guy that I talked about that I, like, ghosted, but, like, half gave him a reason. And, like, we left the movie, too, but we left it together because the movie was lame. I just, like, with movie dates, like, if you're gonna go to the movies, I feel like you need to, like, get a drink together first or, like, get an appetizer and, like, talk. And also, like, if you go on a movie date, do not try to, like, put your arm around me or kiss me during the movie. Like, I'm not here with it. Like, I guess it gives you something to talk about after or, like, whatever, but it's not a good way to get to know each other.
Yeah. Okay, here's how I feel about the movies, okay? I agree. You cannot get to know each other. Like, you need to do something after or before. It would not be my first choice for a date. Drew Afawalo has talked about this on her show. She's like, who goes on movie dates? What are you, 12? Like, she, like, shit on it so hard. But, like, if there's anything about me, like, okay, if it's a man, no. We're not going to the movies. I don't trust you. I don't want to be in the dark with you right away. Yeah. We're not going to the movies. If it's a woman and we get drinks, appetizers, then we go to the movies, I don't want to kiss in the movie. Yeah. But if you want to put your jacket over my lap and, like, touch my inner thighs during the movie, I'm down.
I feel like it on a first date though, like
But with a woman, like it's just if it's going well, like
because I did make out with the second guy like early into the, but we had like 2 drinks.
No kissing in the movies, though.
Like I don't like that. But the one thing, like he brought me to a nicer movie theater where it was like they like ask you if you want food and stuff, like whatever. It's a little better, but I agree. I think women can handle the movie theater better. I still don't want her touching my inner thighs. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Because I think you can build sexual tension maybe during the movie, but is it going to lead to anything? I don't think so.
I don't want them to finger me, but just like, but I guess you're right.
That's
I wouldn't want that on a first date, though. I wouldn't. Like, because then it's just moving too fast. So yeah, I guess I just want to do that from my ex that works with me. Like I'm so done.
You need to stop.
All right. Anyways, moving right along. The next one is your house, and I'm gonna go with unless this person plans an elaborate game night with appetizers, main courses, and drinks. It's not a date if I'm at your house.
I'm still gonna.
I think location matters, bro. Like
yeah.
If we're going to your house, it's a booty call / we're fucking.
Right, and I feel like guys on dating apps are always like, oh, well, I'll make food for you or, like, whatever. Like, I don't care. Will you? I still don't even care if, like, you're a chef and you're really good at making food. I'm not going to your house because then I'm, like, trapped there. And there's, like, no what, like, it's just, like, we're too close in proximity to your bed. And, like, it's too easy to just get lit and there's no other people around. You could kill me. Like, I just don't know. We're going to, if we start dating, like, actually, we're going to be at your house or my house all the time. So why wouldn't you want to go
We don't need to start here. Exactly, bitch.
Okay, so next one is any fast food chain. And then we also have Buffalo Wild Wings and Wingstop, like, right next to it, which is kind of, I feel like wings are kind of fast food, too. Right. And, like, just duh. Like, hello, duh, fuck the fuck no. Unless, like, you're coming up with some creative-ass idea, like, we had a little flirty conversation about fucking McDonald's and you want to take me to the beach with McDonald's and, like, do something, like, interesting with it. Fuck no. And also wings are just an uncomfortable thing to eat on the first date.
Absolutely the fuck not. I'd be out here like pulling that shit apart with my fingers and like using a fork to eat it because what the fuck? Like there's no way I don't even honestly want to eat wings around my partner type shit. Like I don't like eating messy foods
I don't
around.
mind. Once we're like together, I will fucking eat
But
that
the
shit.
noises like
Yeah, no, I don't. And you get all messy and like whatever. Even like juicy crab. Like I love juicy crab so fucking much. And
Yeah,
I'd love
she
to be
does.
taken there on a date because honestly, whatever. But still, like, I don't really want to be doing all that fucking manual labor while we're trying to have a conversation and get to know each other. Like, I'm not.
Bro, it's way too much labor, juicy crab.
like, no.
But yeah, we got Red Lobster on here. I don't think I've ever been there. Like, I don't even know. That's
Not
an
even
East
the
Coast
one in
thing.
Boston? There's
They
one in
definitely
Boston.
do, but I swear, like, on me, I've never been to one.
Damn. I mean, honestly, Nicki Minaj used to work at Red Lobster before she got
Oh,
famous.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like as far as fast food goes, it's a little better because it's seafood, but still, it's like an upscale Chili's. Like it's
Right.
not-
That's what it's giving, like, that same sort of vibe. And then a buffet is next, and I'm just like, is there just buffets? Like, what does that even mean? Like,
There's
I've been to
definitely like I grew up near the casinos in Connecticut, and they have like big buffets at the casino, and like also the guy I was talking to, he would go to this fucking like spa place that has a buffet, and he like but I wanted to go there. Like we had been talking for a minute. We never went, but like I would have gone there again. Like we had already known each other, but a buffet on the first date is just like kind of fucking insane.
Because, like, I've been on a fancy date to this really fancy place, and, like, it was, like, Brazilian food, and it was kind of like buffet if you wanted it to be. And, like, they, like, cooked it right there, but it was, like, it had it. I don't know. So I'm just, like, I don't know. But
It was
on a
fancy.
yeah, it was fancier, though. But I think there's other places that maybe wouldn't be. So I don't know. I can't speak to that. I've never been to a buffet on a date before like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's
On a
kind
first
of
date.
too intense. Next one, IHOP and Denny's. I would say fuck no. I don't mind a breakfast date though. Like I really wouldn't mind. No.
Fuck
Like
no,
not
bitch.
after we have like sex, like not the next morning. Like,
No,
get
I
the fuck
know.
out of my house.
But-
But like I think breakfast dates because, and this kind of goes into, I'm just gonna add these with Starbucks and coffee dates, which are a little bit down the list. Like I feel like they're more for like very casual date where it's someone you might already kind of know. But like I don't always want to drink on a first date. And like if you go to a dinner restaurant, you're gonna drink.
Like, yeah. But if you're at a breakfast, you can, like, have a chai tea latte. Yeah, I feel like in the queer community, like, a lot of women would would ask me to get coffee. Like, that was definitely a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, first of all, bitch, I don't wake up early. Like, and I don't like breakfast food. I don't like I like breakfast food sometimes, really just like egg sandwiches and like really thick French toast. But other than that, like, I'm not gonna fuck up some pancakes at IHOP. Like, I don't do that.
I don't want pancakes, but I love eggs Benedict. Like maybe not breakfast, but like brunch. I feel like
Yeah.
brunch is okay, like especially in Atlanta.
But
like,
then
brunch is a
mimosa.
thing. But then you're gonna drink. But I think coffee dates, like I'm more, I would say, like, I don't know, because also like if you meet someone off a dating app, like it's really hard unless you've talked on the phone to really gauge even who they are if you're gonna have
Right. So what if
chemistry.
you like don't fuck with them? Because the coffee date, like, you're not even eating. Like, maybe you got like a scone, but like there's nothing to like do besides talk and just like look at each other. So it's kind of intense, and that's why I feel like that it makes sense why lesbians want to do that, because all they want to do is talk and look at you. So it's
But
like,
I think it's like shorter and more like quick and go, and you can like walk. Like I would be cool with going to like Inman Park, coffee in Inman Park, and like walking the Beltline. I feel like that would be an okay first date, but it's very inexpensive. So if we go on that first date and it goes well, then our second date better be a dinner or something like a little bit more expensive.
yeah.
You know? Because it's shorter, and like if I don't like you, I'm gonna know right away and I can get out of it faster. But that's kind of like my thing is like I want to like have an escape route.
Right. I don't know why this just came to me, and I don't think, it's not on the list, but like, I would love, like, I know that it's kind of sad because of the animals, but, like, going to the aquarium on a first date would be fun for me. And, like, I did go on a date with my girlfriend in high school to the aquarium. We were already dating, but, like, that's a good date, no?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I think anything where you're, like, viewing something, like,
because there's stuff to do, but you can also, like, sit and talk. So it's, like, you're not, like, the coffee date is so, like, I feel like an activity is good, but I agree. Like, I think if the coffee date is short, then maybe it's not that intense because you're not, like, sitting there for an hour. Yeah. And so maybe it's nice, and maybe that's why lesbians want to do it because they want to, like, cut to the chase and, like, see how it is. So it's, like, an in and out. Rather, like, you sit down for a whole dinner, like, you're there. You sit down for a whole movie, you're there. But coffee might be quicker. So
but I know, like, on TikTok, a lot of women are, like, very against coffee dates and, like, no and, like, whatever. But honestly, like, I'm not opposed to it because, like, I really would rather, like, know especially if I met you off a dating app or, like, briefly at a party when we were drunk. I want to get to know you sober, like, quick. And then if we vibe, we can spend more time together. But, like, if we don't, then it's like you didn't spend that much money. We didn't spend that much time together. I can leave. Yeah. It's done. Whatever.
I don't know about Starbucks, though. Like, yeah, I definitely want, like, a bougie. Like, remember the thinking cup?
Yes, the thinking cup would be good.
They have the best grilled cheese sandwiches, too, bro. Like, please. Oh, my God. I don't think
if we went to the thinking cup, but just, like, coffee, not, like, food.
Right. Yeah, not, like, the thinking cup like that. But, yeah, just, like, a drink. And I said, like, maybe a scone, you know, maybe.
Or, like, go for a walk. Like, get a coffee and walk in the park.
Right.
Like coffee and walk, I feel like. Like, coffee just at the table feels a little too business, but, like, coffee and walk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the table, it's way too much eye contact, bro. Like, I don't know. I get really nervous, like, low-key.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, the next one is the gym, which this would just never happen to me. Like, I would never do that. And also, like, to be honest with you, like, yes, I think it's hot when people, like, work out a lot, but, like, honestly, because of my, like, eating disorder history, if the gym is, like, 60% of your, like, identity and, like, main purpose for existence, I can't. Like, I can't. Like, and maybe you go to the gym for mental health only and you don't give a fuck about your body, but I just want to surround myself with people that, like, don't want to change their body and, like, are okay. Do I want to change my body? Yeah. Do most women? Yeah. Am I going to judge anyone for that? No, but, like, if I'm going to date you and, like, be in love with you and, like, you're going to see me naked all the time, like, we both just need to be comfortable in our bodies.
Yeah.
In the gym, to me, it's like, but maybe it's like I just have issues. Like, not everyone thinks of the gym like that. It's just like, oh, it's the gym. Either way, it's a bad first date, no matter how you think about it.
Like, this guy I kind of, like, talked to on and off, like, I was thinking about running it back to him. I don't know. We never had sex, but he ate my pussy before and we, like, made out and stuff like that. Like, he was my, like, on and off, like, just, like, whatever. But he had been trying to take me out for a minute, but the first time he, like, DM'd me and asked me to do something was go to the gym. And it was at a time where, like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, I was working out a lot. Like, I was posting a lot of gym stuff. Like, I was, like, heavy in the gym, and I'm, like, just getting back to being in the gym now. So, like, I get it. Like, it's a similar interest. And I work in fitness, so, like, it makes sense. But at the same time, like, I really like to work out alone. Like, I don't like to sweat around people. Like, I don't want you to, like, hold my body and show me how to do things. Like, not the vibe. What? Like, if we've been together a minute and we want to go to the gym, like, cool, but still, like, do separate things. Like,
oh my God, wait. I just thought of something. There was a moth. It's gone. I just thought of something, though. I remember the college girl, like, you know the one, bitch, like, freshman year. Like, I was obsessed. We, like, weren't seeing each other anymore, but she, like, asked me to hang out on some one-on-one shit, but we had already broken up, and, like, there was this drama with this other girl, and I was like, oh my God. She asked me to go to the gym. I completely forgot. And, like, yes, it was kind of on some friend shit, but, like, there was sexual tension, and, like, I remember we, like, because this girl, like, she just wanted to do abs, right? So, like, she, like, got her mat, laid it down immediately, so I was like, all right, I'll just do what you do, like, I've never been, like, a consistent gym. Like, I'm, like, a workout class girl. I like the gym, but, like, it hasn't been a big part of my, like, life in terms of fitness. But I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm just, like, watching what you do. And the whole time she's telling me, like, oh, like this guy like told me that like we should have a threesome, and like honestly I think we should, and like she's like flirting kind of, and we're like working out. Because that's that straight girl shit, bro. Like, she wasn't straight, but I definitely think she leans more straight on the bisexual spectrum. Like, so it was just, but yeah, that's really funny. Like, that wasn't an official date, but it kind of was something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, it's like when you think of the gym, you think of those horrible guys on TikTok that are white and muscular and like eat chicken, and I'm just like
on steroids and like
so I'm just like, they are definitely asking bitches, like, let's go to the gym. Like, you look so fit. Like, let's be fit together. Like, ew.
But it also, like, for guys that are like that, like, if you like to work out and take care of your body and you are, like, a gym person, I don't have anything against that. I don't love guys that take a lot of testosterone and do all that shit. But, like, that's your interest. And even though it can be a similar interest with me, like, I do that already in my daily life. Like, I don't want to do that with you yet. Like, that's like relationship shit to me. Like, that's like once we're together, okay, we can like have a gym routine or whatever. But like the first date, again, it's an investment. Like, take me somewhere nice or like put some effort into it. Like, us just going to your gym is just like your regular life and me tagging along. Like,
and like, what, you gonna take me some Planet Fitness bullshit? Like, ew. Like, we're not doing that.
Like, what? Like, we're gonna get like fucking protein shakes after? Like, no fucking thank you. Okay, the next one is church, and just, this is just like, no. Like, I grew up with a lot of church in my life. I'm not religious anymore, and like, I don't have anything against, honestly, that's a lie. I don't think I could date anyone that's really Christian. I think I could date someone that's very like Muslim or Buddhist or a different religion, but just for me, because I grew up in a lot of like Catholic Christianity, like all of that shit, like I cannot do, and in the South, there's a lot of people like that. Like, I cannot do the Christianity. I can do, even with them, because I've dated Muslim guys before too, and like some of them were very sexist, but like I can deal with it. Like, it's at least different from me. Like, you don't bring me into it too much. But as a first fucking date, going to any sort of synagogue, church, mosque, whatever the fuck, no.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, first of all, the church, it's the same shit as the movie, bro. There's no opportunity for talking. I could see like two like Catholic people that like are both like saving themselves for marriage, and he's like, well, will you go to church with me on the first date? And maybe that would make her so happy. And you know what? I'm happy for them. But yeah, what the fuck? Like, and it's also like assuming you're the same religion. Like, what church are you going to take me to? Do you even know my religious beliefs? Like, are you trying to convert me? Like, what's going on?
Are you trying to convert me? That's what I'm thinking. Like, you're trying to bring me to like a cult type of vibe. Like,
yeah.
If it's like I find out that you're very religious and like you want to take me to like show me your life, like on the fourth date, okay? But like, no.
Yeah, because I'm like, if you're dating someone really religious and like it's like serious and it's like been a minute, I could see myself being like I want to see like why this is so amazing to you, like take me to one. But like first date, like unless we're both like on like Christian dating app, we know that we're both like the same. Like, why would that even be like a thing?
And a lot of people that be going to church all the time are like very involved in their church and their community and the neighborhood. Like, I remember the churches I went to, it's like everyone knows each other, and there's like your mom, sisters, aunt, the neighbor, whatever. So it's like, that's like you're meeting the whole family and your whole community on the first date. Like, fuck no.
Yeah, and like organized religion is just like such a big conversation to have. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is not about religion. Like, I think it's beautiful. Like, faith within itself is beautiful no matter what it looks like. Yeah, but it's like, I do like see flaws in like organized religion, and like, not even do I see flaws. Like, if you fuck with it, then like, it's like the world is evil, so whatever makes you feel good, like, roll with it. But to me, like, it makes me uncomfortable. Like, it makes me feel like it's like culty. It makes me feel like, because there's no way every single person believes the exact same thing. Like, we all have different perspectives. So, yeah, that is just crazy. Like, I don't even know what to say. All right, this next one is ice cream dates, which, like, honestly, like, okay, I don't think, like, I would want to go on an ice cream date now. But I think, like, when I was in high school, like, maybe even early college, like, I've lived in, like, cold places. But, like, I think about if I don't know. I don't really hate that. I think it's cute. I think similar to the coffee, maybe walking needs to be involved so you're not sitting at the counter.
Like froyo or like something where you're outside and like whatever. Yeah, because like milkshake dates used to be like a big thing in the fucking like 50s or whatever. Like it's not bad. I know. Why are we so like in the past? We were like talking about the Great Depression in our last episode, which comes out next. But yeah, I don't think it's terrible. Again, I think it's something more casual, like going to the fair. Like I think of like this is reminding me of small town shit I would do if I still lived in Connecticut.
That's what I was gonna say. Small town shit. Like you don't do that like in the city. Like it's just not the same vibe. Like the ice cream places I'm thinking about in LA, like they're really fire, but there's no like cute outdoor seating. Like everyone takes it to go. So it's like, but it is some small town shit. I think it could be cute, but it is a little bit like, what are you, 12? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like if you're by the beach or a small town, like it's we have a
by
very
the beach,
popular, like there's a tourist attraction, like ice cream place in the town I grew up in. So it's like, that's like a place. Like they have sunflowers and all this stuff. So like that could be cute. You could walk to Sunflowers and get ice cream. But like in Atlanta.
Yeah, and even like in Boston, like in that city, honestly, there's like this one ice cream place in like Harvard Square that was like a whole vibe. So it just depends.
And
like,
North End. There's an ice cream place like Gelato.
Yeah. Because then you can go walk by like the lake or the river or whatever it is. Like it just depends. But like I think like she's saying like those coffee dates and ice cream dates where you're just like sitting at like a shitty little table.
No Cold Stone. No like none of that.
Right. Like again, do I love Cold Stone? Yes. Like I fucking love it. You can make whatever you want, baby. But like I'm going to get it, go home and like watch TV with my friend. Like not like fuck you. Like it's relationship shit. Like the fuck?
And also like what if she has lactose intolerance issues? Like I mean there's not very options, but like no. All right, next one is family functions, which is just a big fuck no for me. I will say, though, that I need somewhere to go for Thanksgiving. So if you want to invite me on a first date to your Thanksgiving, I will say yes. I don't think I'd, like, date you long term. I feel like it'd be more of a, like,
well, that's like the church thing because it's like I'm going to meet the whole family.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
I barely want to meet you. Like, I'm convincing myself to go on this first date. Like, I'm meeting one person. That's it.
That's like also, okay, weddings. Because I could think those could be a fun first date. Like if it's not someone, I mean, even if
there's someone, like an open bar and shit though.
Yeah, I will say that family functions like Christmas parties, Thanksgiving, Easter, all of that, no. But if you're like third cousin or cousin is getting married or something.
Or your distant friend.
Or your distant friend.
Like, you know the groom or the bride pretty well. Like, obviously, that's why you're invited. But it's like, you don't know everyone there. Like, your family's not there. Your fucking grandma's not there. Like, none of that shit. Yeah. Because that's, like, sexual attention. Because weddings are sexy. Like, it's about love. Sexy. Like, you're all dressed to the nines. Like...
And there's a lot of rom-coms that have to do with weddings. Like, I just watched one, like, not that long ago that it was
right, and they, like, fall in love, and it's, like, hot.
Yeah, even, honestly, I would go to someone's, like, even close family's wedding. But, like, if we don't fall in love, don't be mad. Like, you know?
Right. Because you already met everyone, so it's, but like, just
for a first date, I think I would
the first
go.
Date
I think I would go, though, because I think, like, I would want to get dressed up. There's food guaranteed. There's drinks guaranteed. There's like fun guaranteed. Like even if
this bitch is trying to go to a Thanksgiving wedding. Like
I literally know. Like honestly, like the family functions. Like maybe it's just because I don't have any family in Atlanta or anything like that. And
you're like it's all about perspective. Like
yeah, but definitely like don't bring me to like your niece's birthday party or something like that.
Right, or like the family cookout where it's like all of your closest family members. Like I just feel like it's better when like you kind of know the people but not really. So like they're down to just have a messy time with you and not be like talking to their family all night. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
All right, this next one's movie night, like fucking Netflix and chill essentially is what this is. And like that's not a date. Like I'm sorry, that's not a date. Like maybe that's a third date, maybe that's a relationship date. That's not a first date. That's a booty call. That's fucking. Yeah. If you ask me if I want to go watch Netflix at your house, that is not a date. Like, what? And, like, maybe I'm down to fuck. Maybe I'll go. If I'm, like, actually into you and that's your big idea for our first date, I'm not into you anymore, bro.
Yeah, no, not cute. I've had guys ask me to play, like, that teach me how to play video games before, too, which is equally similar, same thing. Don't ask me, not doing it, bye.
And that's actually code for they play video games and you suck their dick.
Right, exactly. We're not doing that. We are
Which is kind of hot, but again, not for a first
relationship shit. That's relationship shit.
Right.
Like, yeah. Next thing is somewhere that requires a long drive. Also,
I think this one's huge for me. I honestly think this one's huge. Like, we can't go that far, and it's all about, like, the time crunch, and that's what I do like about the coffee date idea, like, walk, because it is, like, shorter. I'm not going on a 2-hour walk with you. I can barely walk for 30 minutes. Like, we're not walking.
Right. And where you take, like, if you pick me up and you want us to drive 2 hours, like, I'm stuck with you. Like, okay, I'm literally trapped.
What if it's like, for example, like, say you lived in LA. I don't know where Coachella is. I don't know anything about it. But, like, say it was a long drive to Coachella, like 2 hours, but this guy was like, I have an extra pass. Do you want to come and, like, be my date for the day or whatever? Like,
yes,
you would go.
But that's okay, because I was going to bring this up with this, too, because a lot of bitches be getting, like, flown out and shit, or, like, going on vacations as the first date. Like, I've had guys ask me that, too, on Hinge. Like, ones that I've matched with where I've kind of only matched with them because they looked like they had money or whatever, and they're like, oh, like, let's take a trip. Like, I just, like, even though a trip to Bali would be lit or whatever, I don't think I can do it because I don't want to, like, spend that much time with you.
Yeah, and I'm not going to enjoy Bali. Like, I'm just going to be, like, weird. I mean, unless you're, like, end up being, like, fucking the love of my life, which is, like, 1 in a trillion chance, you know? Like, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I'd want to go to Bali, but it's not the same. Yeah, I understand bitches doing that, and, like, honestly, all power to them, because, like, that just means they're really just like, fuck you, I'm going to live my life and enjoy it.
But yeah, there was actually like a documentary thing on Netflix about that couple that went on a trip for their first date and then they got trapped there.
Oh, yeah.
And I like cried and I thought it was the cutest love story, like real shit ever. But like, I would have to either kind of know you or stalk the fuck out of your profile to the point where, like, I've seen you talk, like, I know who your friend circle is. Like, I need to be very well aware of who you are and how you are as a person. Like, maybe we have a mutual friend or, like, something for me to agree to any shit like that. Because if you're just someone who has a Hinge profile and even a fake Instagram, not fucking do it.
And it's like, I feel like that's on growth too, because low key, like, I mean, I don't know if I would have, but like thinking when I was like 19, if this like sexy ass dude was like, I'm gonna fly you out to Miami, let's go. Like, maybe because I was self-destructive. Like, I would have been like, yeah, sure, fuck it, let's go. But now I feel like we're not self-destructive. And we know that there's like a very slim chance of that like really working out and like being worth it. Even if it's all free, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go to Bali if I have to be with some fucker. Like, I want to go to Bali with you or with my partner, with my, like, not with some first date boy.
Yeah, because it's not going to be fun. Like,
right. No. It's not worth it. I didn't even go to Bali. Like, what the fuck? So
if it was a famous rapper or something, okay, yeah, let's do it. But no.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, next one is bowling. Not opposed to it, don't love it. Like, your hands get greasy with the ball. Like, I mean, you could have some element of like competition or whatever in it, so I'm not against it.
Yeah, I went bowling with like my family recently, and like honestly, it wasn't even that fun. Like, it's kind of slow, and like I'm not very good at it. I feel like that's literally middle school shit. Like, we're not going. Like, who are they even bowling alleys open?
Skating. Is roller skating on here? No. Like, roller skating, like bowling, like it is an activity. Like, maybe
okay, wait. Date. I will say when I was in college, not when I had officially moved to LA, but I was on the LA campus before I met girlfriend number 2. I was fucking with this like girl, and I don't know if it was it wasn't an official first date, but we like started fucking with each other after this night. We went to like a queer roller skating like thing, and there was a bunch of hot lesbians everywhere, and I I don't know what a roller skate, like I couldn't even walk, so this bitch had to hold me the whole time. We did fall, and like it was like fun and it was cute, but again, it wasn't like an official first date. Like basically, oh no, here's what happened. My friend, so this was my friend's sister also, which is a little complicated, but she was fine with it. But and the friend was girlfriend number one's friend, who was now my friend. So anyways, she was in LA. We met up and she was like, oh yeah, my sister's here. And I was like, okay. And she's hot. And like, oh my God. Ended up being a disaster, but it was really cute.
Yeah, I think ice skating and roller skating, I take it back, like could be cute and a vibe.
It just depends. Again, I feel like with women, but maybe not with a man.
I feel like bowling could be a group date.
Yeah.
Like if you're going like friend groups.
I love a group
could be
date.
Fun. A group date I would prefer.
Because the sexual tension is like, whew.
Yeah, but again, it's still more casual I don't know. I guess it depends. It depends on how serious you're trying to look for your person or not.
The next one is nightclubs, which like, that's just like funny to me. I'm trying to think, like, have I ever been invited? Like, I feel like okay. Yeah, the first night of my Emerson LA experience, I matched with this bitch on Hinge. Also ended up being a disaster. But we met at this like nightclub, and that's like the video of me when I'm like, I got up on stage and was like dancing. Like she took that video of me. But anyways, that was the one where I was on my period and like she was eating me out and I fell asleep and I told her not to eat me out, but she was like, I really want to. I was like, okay, go for it. Like, I literally told her not to. I'm crying. But anyways, yeah, that was just not good. Because I also just was kind of, like, not paying attention to her. Like, if we're at a nightclub, like, first of all, we're moving. I'm not going to, like, sit in the corner with you. Like, it's loud.
I'm too much of a social butterfly.
Right.
Like, if you have a table or, like, whatever, like, it could be, like, a cool thing, like, you invite me to and, like, whatever, I guess. Like, if you have a table. But I don't really think it's a first date. I think it's like maybe a first whatever. But again, follow it up with like dinner or something like that. Because we're not getting to know each other.
Right. And it just feels way too messy. And like you just want to fuck and like not. It's just not a first date. Like again, if this is an investment, a first date, like that's not it. That's not it.
Not it. Same thing with hookah bar. Like I think I've been to
I don't like hookah bars.
Before.
It makes me lightheaded. And it's like it's like a Jewel. It's like. Not like a Jewel, it doesn't hit like that, but the fruity flavors, I just don't fuck with.
The air, the smoke, like I just, don't want to go to a hookah bar. A bar just for drinks, I've definitely been on a couple of these. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with it. I'm so down.
But I'm down for it, but it's just too much. I feel like guys go into it thinking that you're going to fuck after. And that is like,
But here's the thing, like, to be honest with you, I am not at a point where, like, I would go on a first date with someone just to, like, have conversation and not fuck after. Like, if I want to go on a first date with you, it's because I'm really trying to fuck. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
So
I mean, honestly, I feel like a first date, depending on the vibe, we could go for a bar for drinks. And if I'm feeling chemistry, I might fuck you the first date. Like, I'm down for that. But, like, I also might not.
Yeah, because I feel like the vibe that you're on with like the dates and like what your therapist says, like it's all so healthy and like you should like wait, but I just don't think I'm there yet. Like I feel like the only reason I would be inclined to go on a first date is if we like have a nice time and then probably do fuck afterwards. Yeah. I don't think maybe I'm just not at a place where I really don't want a relationship, so I'm not like thinking about it like because it's so serious. Like, you're like, okay, we're going to go on a date. Maybe we'll end up together. Like, people take it so seriously, and, like, it stresses me out.
I mean, I don't even want that because I don't like it when anyone, like, even, like, everyone I've been on a first date with recently, like, has taken it, like, so serious, even when it was the movies or whatever, and that turns me off.
Right.
Regardless, I think, like, you should take it serious as in you're putting thought into it and you want to, like, set the vibe. But, like, I don't like going too serious into anything. But I do think, like, I don't know, like, I'm not opposed to it. I would still fuck someone, like, potentially. But I'm just at a point where I feel like my standards for men have been so low that, like, I want someone to put fucking effort in. Even if it means I'll fuck them after, I might still. But you need to come with effort in the beginning.
Totally. Yeah, and then the next one's the Waffle House, which we kind of talked about, like, breakfast spots, so that kind of goes into it. But this other one is sports events, and, like, I personally, like, wouldn't want to do this. Like, I don't give a fuck about sports. But I do think, like, it could be kind of cute. Like,
I think it could be cool. Like, you get, like, seats in, like, for a fucking Falcons game or, like, I don't know what the other teams are. Like, whatever. But I would be down for that. Like, I think it's kind of cool.
Like, I do think, like, games can be, like, super loud. Like, I honestly think it would be fun to maybe go to, like, a, like, league, like, outside that's not, like, like, they're not bad, but it's, like, more low-key. It's not, like, the fucking Celtics or something.
I would rather that, though, because I feel like you put money into it.
I mean, yeah.
And you, like, kind of, like, you don't dress up, but it's, like, more of a thing.
Yeah.
And, like, but I have had a guy ask me to watch football with him just on a Sunday at his place, and that's a fuck no.
Yeah. Because, again, it's, like, first date. Like, I mean, I'm not the bitch to take to a sporting event because I really don't care. But, like, if it was going to be, like, a women's basketball game, like, I'd be so down.
Yeah, like, I think I would prefer basketball. Like, football, not as much. Like, I don't really want to tailgate or anything like that. But, like,
and everyone hates baseball. They're like, it's so slow. But, like, I like baseball. And I think it's just because I understand it the best out of any sport because I played softball. So, like, I know what's happening. Whereas football, couldn't tell you the rules. Basketball, not really either. Hockey, definitely not. Like, you just try to get it in the goal is all I know. Like, the fuck?
And that's it, too. Like, I don't want to go to a sports event with someone who's obsessed with football.
Because they're going to be like...
Because then it's like you're just, again, caring about your interests and not mine. Like, I don't mind caring about your interests, but, like, let's go to a basketball game and maybe you care about basketball, but, like, it's just, like, a cool thing to do. Like, then the next time we need to do something I want to do. Like, I don't want to just be at a sporting event with a guy that's just, like, gets fucking hard for sports.
Right.
Like,
and again, it's like if you're dating this person and they love baseball, they love this one baseball team, fuck yeah, I'm going to go with them and, like, fucking turn it up, you know? But it's like these are first dates. Yeah. And it needs to be mutual, just like with church. Like, how do you know what my religion is? Like, how do you know what my sports team is? Maybe I hate the Celtics. You don't know my history with the Celtics. Like, yeah, so fuck that shit. All right, y'all. So that's the list. But let's see what y'all thought because we did ask you. We pulled like 4 of our, you know, some standouts from the list we just read. And we asked you guys, like, what's the worst place to be taken on a first date? Church won with 68%, which I'm like, yup. And somewhere that requires a long drive was 15%. The gym was 10%, and Denny's was 7%. But I agree. I think out of the list of church, Denny's, the gym, and somewhere that requires a long drive, well, I don't know. No, yeah, church. Definitely church.
I think church is the worst. I think I voted for the gym. But I think I, like, changed it to church.
I think I voted for the gym as well, actually.
No, I think you voted for somewhere that requires a long drive.
Oh, yeah, because I stand by that. But then I started thinking about the music festival, and it's like, okay, there is, like, or if this guy was like, I'm a photographer, like, let's go to this beach. No, I don't want to date a photographer.
No, photographers, no.
But the festival thing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys were on point with your voting, so we agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
And is there any places that you think are missing from this list?
I mean, you just saying the photographer thing made me think of, like, a shoot. Like, because
guys be pulling that.
Yeah, like, oh, let's do a shoot together. And
we
then
should
you're really
shoot.
Just trying to, like,
I'm like,
to just fuck me. You're trying to get me in lingerie and take unaesthetic photos of my ass while you feed me, like, cheap vodka shots. No.
On your dirty ass couch, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
We're not doing a shoot like that. No, I think we covered pretty much everything. I think the biggest one, I mean, also, like, just your car with a bottle or, like, just to go smoke somewhere. Like, that I hear the most. Like, let's get a bottle and let's go out. Or, like, let's get a bottle and chill. And, like,
that's just, like, I want to fuck you like a fucking slut is what that's doing.
No, we're not doing that. I feel like, honestly, I think the list pretty much covers it. I'm trying to think if there's anything that we're missing.
I don't think there is. That's a lengthy ass list, too.
It is a lengthy ass list. And they're pretty on point. Like, besides a couple of them, I really think they had it together. But maybe, guys, according to you guys, the location isn't really what matters when it comes to a first date. I think it plays a good fucking role in it. But when we ask you guys what makes a first date bad, which of these contributing factors is the most likely to make the date bad, 0% of y'all said the location. And the highest at 79% was the conversation, which
I voted for that.
Me too. I feel like that's number one.
Because that just taps everything. Yeah, the conversation, 79%. Their appearance was 15%. And the lack of sexual attention is 6%. I feel like with my dates with, like, queer women where we were both kind of femme and submissive and, like, soft girls, like, that was, like, the lack of sensual attention that would piss me off. Because, like, maybe we were having good convo, but I'm just like, I don't feel anything. But I think at the end of the day, it is the conversation. Because you know what? Like you said, like the McDonald's on the beach thing, it's like that's like weird. But like if the conversation is hitting, like it doesn't really matter where you are. It's about who you're with, blah, blah, blah. That's such a boring, like, but it's true, bro. Like it really is like you could be on some spontaneous first date shit and be in like the weirdest spot. But like, you know, you're really fucking with the person, so it's fine. So I agree. I think at the end of the day, it's the conversation that really, you know, makes it, tops everything.
Yeah, because like you said, like, if the location is bad, if you're uglier than I thought you were, if we have no sexual chemistry, only thing left is conversation. And if our conversation is good, I'm at least gonna go home and be like, okay, we didn't have chemistry, but this wasn't a bad person, and I'm not mad that I wasted my Friday night doing this.
Right, because
you know?
like I was stimulated, like in a good way. It's like we all want to like feel connected at humans, like bare minimum. So it's like that's nice, and also it's like especially where, you know, especially like you and me, like excuse me. Especially you and me, I do feel like we're kind of picky. So it's like normally I'm not really feeling the conversation. So like if I am, then I'm like, okay. And it's that whole thing about like if someone's so confident, their energy's great, even if they're not the type you're normally attracted to, they're not, you know, known as like attractive or whatever, like it hits. Like it's all about that energy and word flow, bitch. Okay.
Yeah. And one thing with the conversation too that I will say that I've had like first dates go well with everything. Say maybe I didn't love the sexual tension, didn't love their appearance, location was but the conversation was going well. The guaranteed way to completely ruin that is for you to try to fuck me after if it's clearly no chemistry. Because I've had that happen before too. And I feel like guys, by just rule of thumb, like don't try to fuck her the first night. Just don't try to fuck her. And if you don't try to fuck her, she's probably more likely to want to fuck you. Like that is just
Ring-a-ding-ding.
It's like if you don't try to fuck me the first night, I'm probably going to fuck you. If you try to fuck me the first night, I'm guaranteed to not fuck you and probably ghost you.
That's like the daddy shit. Like it has to be in like our court. Like we crown you daddy. Like we give you okay to fuck. Because honestly, it's like you guys know that bitches love hard to get. Like what are you not understanding? Like if you're all up in my face, like yeah.
It's like a respect thing too, because it's like when you try to fuck her on the first date, it just gives like thirsty. It just gives you're so thirsty and like you're just like every other dude in her DMs and you haven't gotten pussy in a minute and this is your one shot. But it's like if you're a confident man, you're gonna be like, okay, like we vibed and she liked me, she's gonna fuck me later. Like
you wouldn't be worried about it. Like you don't need to stress it. You know what I mean? Like yeah, definitely.
Like no, we're definitely not doing that. So yeah, and what does really matter for the first date? Like we said, like conversation is definitely a big thing. But based off of some of the research that we did, one thing that it said is throughout the date, like each partner's behavioral patterns can contribute to like just setting a general vibe. And that kind of goes with the conversation. But things like nodding, like moving an arm, shifting a leg, like kind of just like being in line with their interactions and like showing you're engaged are things that just contribute to like sexual tension and romantic interest and like all of that.
Yeah.
And then it also showed that the degree of synchronicity, like those types of behaviors between men and affected men and women differently. Like although both genders synchronicity predicted attraction, women were more sexually attracted to men who showed a high level of synchrony, not synchronicity, whatever. But it's like pretty much if you mimic their actions or you're like on the same page, like you nod when they nod, like you maintain eye contact, like those types of things. And I do think that's big because I've definitely like, and I know we're going to get into a little bit later, like women who talk too much or like something like that. But like men talk too much on dates and that turns women off too. Women who talk too much on dates turns men off. But like when you have this like back and forth where you feel like the person is engaged with you and it is like a real conversation, it's just more likely to feel good.
Yeah, because like honestly, like dating is almost entirely like nonverbal clues and stuff. Like people are trying to be mysterious about it, like not like upright, and it's like that's cool. Like I feel like and it's definitely like being present is everything. Like this is the first time we're meeting. Like I want us to be on the same page. Like feel like you're like excited and like interested in talking to me. And like I feel like a lot of men are like, oh, like what a big ass like women want the most in the first date and like blah blah blah. But it's like no, because if we are really looking at it like an investment, even if we're just gonna be friends, bro, like I said, you need to be precious with your time. So it's like someone that's not present, but that makes sense. So it's almost like when because you know that feeling when it's like you nod at the same time as someone. Like I know that feeling, and like even with friends, like it feels good. Is that like a science, like psychological thing? Like
like even in like marketing, like our sales team like talks about that. Like you ask someone if they liked like something they did or the product or whatever, and if they nod, like you nod to make them nod, like those types of things, like it gets you on the same page. Like it's a sales
creepy
trick. It is like,
marketing is so creepy.
Marketing and sales are very creepy, but like those types of like, because they're connections, like you're building these connections that lead to a bigger relationship. But other little things, like there's this thing going around on TikTok called the bird test that Gen Z is implementing and a lot of millennials on dates. And it's pretty much like your partner shows interest in something, like a bid for attention. And if the other partner reciprocates it or shows interest as well, you're likely to last longer. So for example, we're on a coffee date, we're going for a walk, I see a bird. I'm like, oh, look, a bird. If the person with me is like, doesn't really acknowledge it and is kind of like whatever, that shows that later down the line when I show interest in something, they're probably not going to show interest in it. Versus if they're like, oh, wow, look at that bird, they're reciprocating your bid for attention and they're showing that they're interested in the things you're interested in.
Yeah, or they're like, oh, like, where is it? They're like paying attention and they like, that's so cool. Okay, that's going on TikTok. I was not hit.
Yeah, so it was this study that this guy did, and they just studied long-term couples and like who was most likely to last, and the ones that did these little bids for attention or affection and reciprocated them lasted longer. So if you want to see, like, do a bird test, do a little like, oh, look, a yellow car, and like see if they pay attention. That's a good way to see if
what
they're
if
really
it's like,
engaged.
oh, look, like I spilled coffee on my shirt, and you like look down. Is that like one?
Yeah, exactly. Like
okay.
You're showing interest in something that like small that you're bringing
like
up.
Taking what you're saying. Yeah, like small, because it's not like you're like, oh, look, my arm fell off. Like anyone's going to look. It's like.
Yeah.
It's something small, like, and stupid. It's like, who gives a fuck about that bird, bro? Like, I got rent to pay, but it's like, if they're gonna look, yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, it's more about, like, your partner being excited and you being excited with them. Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's goals. I want that.
Right. I'm like, I'm going to do that on my next couple dates. But I actually noticed that with the last guy I was with, just like little things. I was like, he's not passing the bird test. But anyway, the other one, I saw this on TikTok as well. I'm going to try to find it and link it in the description or whatever. But this woman was talking about her friend who said she only dates when she's on her period, like only goes on dates when she's on her period.
So she won't fuck?
No. Which is, we were talking about this because I was like, I'm on my period right now. Like, I'm not going to, like, whatever. But she only dates on her period because, as you guys know, or if you don't know, like, women throughout our cycles are very different women. Like, when you're ovulating, like, you're more attractive
to see if they can handle it.
Yes. Because when you're ovulating, you're more attractive to yourself and to like other suitors. So like if you go on dates when you're ovulating, like obviously you're going to be more sexually attracted to them. They're going to be more sexually attracted to you. It's just like science. But when you're on your period, it's the most likely for your partner to not be attracted to you because like you're on your period, and it's the most likely for you to not be attracted to them because you're on your period. So if you're attracted to someone when you go out to, like on your period, you're more likely to want to be with them long term because you're just like oxytocin, like those feelings are just like those hormones are not as present. So if you're looking for a long-term relationship, go on dates on your period. If you're looking for a short hookup, go on dates when you're ovulating.
But some people get horny on their period.
I get horny on my period.
Maybe it's like a certain phase though, like maybe not the whole time you're horny, because also it's like, and it's different for everyone, but that's so fucking interesting. That bitch means business. Like, she is serious. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like that type of extremity is why guys are, like, so nervous about the first date. Because here's the thing. Like, guys give women shit about, like, expecting a lot. Expecting them to pay the bill. Expecting it to be a fancy restaurant. Expecting it to be, like, the fucking, like, best night of their life. But it's like, and then I feel like a pick me for saying this, but it's like, I don't even want all that. Like, to be honest with you, and like, maybe it's because I've mostly been on date with women and like, I'm never like, oh, they should pay. Like, I almost want to pay for them. If I'm with a man, I'm definitely not paying though.
Right.
So it's different, but I'm just like, that's what stresses me out about first dates and about dating in general is how serious people take it. But it's like, there's nothing wrong with taking it serious. Like, as women, we should take it serious. We should value our time. But I'd be lying if I said, like, that doesn't stress me out. And, like, not like I understand why that stresses guys out. Because if it stresses them out, that's fine. But it's like they attack women and, like, make us feel like we don't deserve those things when we absolutely do. But not everybody wants that. Like, you know what I mean?
And that's kind of like why I'm in a weird phase with that too, because I'm like, part of me, like you said, like I'm not necessarily completely looking for a serious relationship or taking every date super serious. But I do know my history with men and like how they've given me the bare minimum and I haven't asked for more. So it's more just about me showing up with, regardless of who I fuck with, like you need to meet certain standards or like you need to have certain shit. So it's like, I don't know, like maybe the dating on your period thing, I don't know if I'm going to completely follow that because I'm not really looking for like a long-term partner completely. But like some of the other things, like the bird test and stuff like that, like if you are even just looking for someone casually or trying to gauge it, like I think that's just a good thing to see how much they respect you as a human, or if they pay for the bill, or if they take you to a nice place. It's like, okay, like how much do you value me? Because you're kind of showing that in our first date, you know? Okay, so as you guys know, this list went super viral on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. And the men, as they be in their internet caves, got fucking mad about it. They get mad about women having standards, all that shit. And this one account made this list from a group of men saying these are the types of women that you shouldn't date. And I'm just going to read the list through really quick. It is super fucked up. We do not agree with it. But I'm going to go through. Ready? We have single mothers, women with tattoos, women who dress like this in public. I don't know what that means. Sex workers, OnlyFans girls, mattress actresses, strippers, call girls, and escorts. Instagram models, in quotes, bottle girls, etc. Women with an IG page. Women with non-ear piercings. Women with purple hair or any other unnatural color. Women with hoe friends. Quote-unquote models who market to men, women who travel regularly, women who drink liquor regularly, women with weak/absentee fathers, women who live alone, women with party voice, women on dating apps, women who have been on Fresh and Fit, women with lists, women who have been engaged, divorcees, American black women, and women raised in the West. This means you're gay. I'm sorry, because what woman did you not eliminate in that list?
Dude, I'm gonna say, like, why do we check so many boxes? But it's like, honestly, proud to, because same, babe. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're posting this. What women want to date? Who's saying that you would even ever get a date with her, bro? Like, you wouldn't. So it doesn't matter, baby. Like, Why I can't.
And like some of these things are just general patriarchal fucking sexism, like what they say about sex workers and like da-da-da. Like, okay, fucking fine. Like, y'all are sexist as fuck, take that. But like shit like American black women or women who live alone or women who have dating apps are like actually insane. And that's like, it's insane because this list, guy on it, like the photo is a black man. So it's like you're racist against your own race of women is actually fucking insane. Like you're cutting out a whole race of women is really fucked up. And also women can't help having absent fathers, like women who travel regularly. What if they travel for work? Women with tattoo, like women with
it's
Instagram
just like
page. What?
Like picture this guy like sitting down, like getting ready to write it, like actually thinking about it, be like, yeah, okay, that slays. Okay, yeah, that one eats. Like I'm like, what? And I'm like, just for context, guys, like similar to our episode that's hating your girlfriend, like that list was posted by a fucking dumbass. Like this list was also posted by some like dumbass account that like isn't shit. You know what I mean? Like this, we don't need to be scared. Like this is just some dumb fucking account, but it went viral and that's the takeaway. It's like shit like this does go viral and that's the scary part. Like having a guy post this, yeah, sure. Like we all know there's fucked up people, but like why is this going viral? And it's like, okay, you guys are talking about it, but it's like we're trying to have like criticism about it though. Like we don't control what goes viral and like we want to always keep updated with the internet trends. Like we're not trying to give this a traction, but it's like we're angry, bitch. Like, what the fuck?
I think it's important to realize, like, most men probably aren't like this, hopefully, and whoever wrote this list probably wrote it with the intention to go viral because it is insane. But there's a lot of man-hating women out there, or no, there's a lot of women-hating men out there, and there's a lot of men that might seem interested in you and will take you on a date and then be like, what do you bring to the table? Oh, actually, I don't like women with tattoos. Actually, oh, you post stuff like this on Instagram. I don't really like that. They'll want to give their opinion on you even though they asked you on a date. So it's like,
right, and like that's controlling, that's abusive. Like we don't want that. Like there's one thing about writing a list of standards that are healthy. Like this is just straight up like problematic, racist, misogynistic. Like what the fuck? Like it's appalling, honestly. Yeah. But this is the world we live in, guys. Like this is reality. So like, should we be scared? No. Should we wake the fuck up and do something? Yeah, because what the fuck?
Yeah. And honestly, guys, like if you meet someone off dating apps or even you met them out, like I, by rule of thumb, definitely fucking stalk their account and, like, look at their stories because, like, if there's anything misogynistic, racist, like, leads me to believe that they, even if they're showing hella interest in me, they want to take me on a nice date. If I see anything that leads me to believe that they're going to, like, try to squash who I am as a person later down the line, like they liked something like this or the hating your girlfriend thread or something like that, like don't waste your time, you know?
Red flag as fuck. And that's why it's like you and me both, like we've been through experiences like being with misogynistic men that like maybe they wouldn't create this and post it, but they would laugh at it, you know? They would like fucking talk about it with their homeboys and like giggle. And it's just like, that's why women are so like fucking clear with their standard. It's because they get fucked over. Like, it's not just because they woke up and are like fucking narcissists. Like, no, it's because they've been through trauma and they're like, now I'm not standing for this. So yeah, if you know anyone that liked this tweet, or because like huge red flag, look through those Twitter likes, like the fuck.
Look through them. I'm a big proponent for stalking the fuck out of their accounts to seeing what the fuck they really
tell you a lot.
It can tell you a lot, and also this is in direct response to, you know, women just having standards. So no men are mad about it, and those types of men should not get dates. Period. But we
and it's like,
go ahead.
Sorry. I was the last thing, and it's like she wrote the Cheesecake Factory, IHOP, the gym, like. It's stupid. Like, it's funny. Like, he literally wrote, like, African-American black women, like, sorry, you don't say African-American anymore. Shut up. He literally wrote, like, black American women, like, women with tattoos. Like, that's just fucked up. Like, there's a difference between like making fun of like IHOP and like someone's identity. Like the fuck?
Yeah, it's actually insane. But we asked you guys because I think there are like signifiers on the type of person that men and women both don't want to take on dates. Like, and that might speak to type. It might speak to greater problems in our fucking society. So we asked y'all first, what's the worst woman to take on a date? And this is like two men and women. So we have queer women in here and also straight men responding.
Right.
The number one that won, though, is a woman who talks too much at 39%, and closely behind at 29% is a woman who goes out a lot. And I talk too much, I think. I also leave space in conversation for other people to talk, but like I think that's a sexist thing.
The fuck yeah you do, bitch. You definitely be leaving space, but like I feel like you do a perfect balance, honestly. Like,
thank you.
Like, if we're just saying, like, people who talk too much, like, not putting a gender on it, yeah, it's annoying. Like, no one likes a person that talks too much, but I feel like there's such a stigma around women specifically, like, talking too much, coming across so emotional, and it's like, we're not supposed to be smart, like, just shut the fuck up and take the dick type shit.
Yeah.
So that's why it pisses me off. But again, like, we do have queer women also voting on this, and like maybe some of them voted for this too. So,
but also I think by rule of thumb for a first date, I think kind of the woman should lead the conversation a little bit. Like the guy should be responding to what the woman says and what she's asking, because like it's a power imbalance and you should be winning her attention. Like you should be focused on her interests. Like a man mansplaining is way worse. But I do agree, like there's definitely women, like I've talked to like men close to me in my life, friends, like my brother, like cousins before, like who have said things like, you know, like they've been on bad, and those are good men that I think like been on dates with women who just like either trauma dump or just like talk too much or whatever. Like again, I think it's a person thing, like you said.
But it's like, yeah, like anyone doing that would be annoying.
Yeah. But we put it on there because it's something we've heard a lot from like men as women talking too much. But men, if you're listening, check yourselves, because maybe it's just like you're not the only person talking and a woman's talking too. But yeah, we get it. At the same time, anyone who talks too much can be annoying. A woman who goes out a lot, I guess I can see this. Like, I used to go out a lot. I guess I get it. It can be a turnoff. Like, I don't necessarily know if I want a man or a woman who's, like, super in the party scene 100%. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like we always fucking fall for these guys that are in the party scene because they're promoting their music. They're promoting their fucking art. Like,
they're networking.
Right. And it's like, it is kind of like a turnoff, but it's like on the flip side, a woman that goes out a lot, it's like, it's giving like, oh, they just think she's for the streets. But like, there could be a woman that goes out a lot, and that doesn't mean she's fucking a lot.
Right. Yeah, because I think men generally assume if a woman's going out a lot, she's for the streets and she's fucking a lot of people, which I don't think is necessarily like a rule by thumb. But the next one is a woman who wants you to pay the bill at 21%. And this is just like, I'm sorry, like I'm very, guys, like I'm very, not to be a pick-me, but like I'm very 50-50. If not, I don't mind being 60-40. I don't mind being 70-30. Once we get into a fucking relationship, and like I've committed to you, if I make more money than you, I do not mind paying for more shit. But on the first date, I think the man should pay.
Yeah. And I think that's on some equity shit in a relationship. Like if whoever makes more money, it's like they pay a little bit extra because it's like really the same thing, because like that other person doesn't make as much money. But yeah, I think I'm with you too. Like honestly, like so it's like basically like we talk about like outdated feminism would say, no, I can pay. Right. I don't need the man to pay. And new feminism is like, fucking use the patriarchy, bitch. So part of me still honestly is a little bit like, I can pay. Like I don't need them to pay. But then it's like I did date a man that like paid for everything. And like it felt good. Like it did feel like princess treatment. It did feel like he was a drug dealer. He definitely had way more money than I did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I think for the first date, but if I was going to go on a first date with like a non-binary person or a woman or something, I think it's interesting because I feel like I'm honestly like, no, I'll pay for you. It's fine. Like I try to be like daddy to them, even though I'm like not. But I think honestly with a lot of women, I have been like, I'll pay for it. Like I got it.
I've been like that with a lot of men. Like I will be like, oh, I'll pay for it, or I'll go to put my card out. Like I'll do the reach. But like,
because like it's also kind of like a flex. Like maybe I'm trying to be like, oh, like I have money, like I'll pay for it, it's fine, even though I don't.
I realize with men, because I used to be like that too. I'm like, oh, I want to show them that I'm a woman that has my shit together, almost on some pick me shit. But they will take advantage of that later down the line. So it's like, I think with men, you need to let them pay the first date. And like,
I think with men,
or like honestly, men, if you're listening, you can go 50-50 or you can let her pay. But I think women use that as a judgment. If a man goes 50-50 or if he lets you pay, he's probably more likely to take advantage of you and your financial state later down the line versus.
Because it's like the whole, like we're just going to spend some time on this because it really is a big thing. But it's like the whole thing is like that's super outdated where it's like the man pays. That's been around forever. The man holds the door. The man opens the car. So it's like I feel like a lot of men are like, well, you guys like want shit to be different and want the patriarchy to go to waste. So why do I still have to pay for this? But it's like to that I say the pay gap. I honestly think that's the biggest thing because at the end of the day, y'all do make more money than us. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you're not on your shit. I don't give a fuck. The end of the day, you could be. Right. You could be. That's not my fault.
See, I'm sorry. Honestly, the pay gap, one thing about the pay gap is it's closing. Women are more college educated than men and like it's closing. But I don't even think it's the pay gap as much as it's like women have pussy and y'all all want fucking pussy. And if you want this woman, if you're showing interest and you want to make an investment, like this is the minimum amount that you should do. Because you know when you get into relationships, women bring everything to the fucking table, which is why I think the question, what do women bring to the table, is fucking insane. Because it's like once a woman holds you down, if you've ever experienced a woman holding you down, like you know how much comes with that. And I feel like it's just like men need to do more on the upfront because they're investing in what this woman is going to bring. Like if you want to go 50-50, like I said, go 50-50 or let her pay, but just don't be shocked if she's not going to invest as much in you later. And I think women hold yourselves to that too.
And the biggest thing is like women offer like all the emotional labor and like nurturing and like all that shit, which like you guys struggle with so hard. So don't act like you don't desperately need that just as bad as you desperately need the pussy, like low key, because you guys are emotionally crippled. Like,
but also men, if you're going to hold it against her later that you paid for these first dates and you like took her out, because I know a lot of men will be like, oh, I spent all this money on her and like she didn't like do anything after, she ghosted me or whatever. Like, don't do that then. Like, don't do it if you can't dish the fact that like she might not reciprocate anything after. Like, you just need to do it because like you wanted something and you feel like a gentleman and this is what you feel like you should do.
Yeah, not to get anything down the line or be like, I have one over you now. Like, that's you're a child. Like,
and
what
also
the fuck?
Women, like, I do think we need to do a little bit better. Like, we talk about the commodification of dating. We have a whole episode about it. And it's like, I do think it's great that women are like looking to men to be like, no, you need to pay for this stuff and like all of that. And there is a good portion of women that will just go on dates to have a free dinner and all of that. And that's fine. I still fucking support it. Like, whatever.
I do, but I don't know how you do it because I don't want to sit. I can't enjoy the dinner. It's the same thing with Bali. Like, yes, I want free food, but like, I want to get the free food and then go home and eat it by myself. Like, I don't want to eat it with you. That's not fun. I'll forget. Like, no. I'm just, but I support it. Like, I wish I could do that because we deserve it, you know?
I get, but also I encourage the women who are like that. It's like, if you have to choose between a Friday night where you're doing something to work on yourself or you're going on a date with a guy that you're not interested in that's going to pay for your food, I hope that you choose to work on yourself. And also men, like, I do think the majority of women are not just wasting their fucking time on a date with you just for a free dinner. Like, I think
majority
women,
for sure are
not doing that. So it's like, I feel like there's this false perception of men that like women are just using them all the time.
They're generalizing just because they see a few bitches like doing that. Yeah, it's just not fair. But again, like I think it's fine for those bitches to do that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to come across as a pick me that's like, but I don't do that.
It's fine.
But it's really just because I can't stand them. I cannot stand to be at dinner with them. Like, I need to really want them if I'm going to go to dinner with them. Like, that's what it is.
Unless I'm going to dinner with them, they're paying, and then they're also paying for my nails and some of my bills and, like, all of that. You know, but like, I don't hate on a woman who's like, it's a Tuesday, she's bored. A guy hits her up to go to Juicy Crab and she lets him pay for it. Like, okay, do that,
Juicy Crab, the example, bitch.
I'm fucking dead. But the last one is bisexual women at 17%, not far behind. And this one we threw in there, like, it's for men, but men sexualize it more. I think it's more for like lesbian women because there is like a stigma about bisexual women, you know? And
yeah,
I get it, but...
Yeah, I used to be like that. I used to be like, I don't want to be with a bi. But at the end of the day, it's an insecurity thing because the reason for me was it's because, like, they're attracted to everyone. I have to compete with, like, a gender that I can't even, like, I'm not a man. I can't be a man for her. Like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But that's just on insecurity because it's like if you're confident with who you are, you know? And so I feel that a little bit less, but it's like I also, like, thought like or was lesbian, thought I was kind of pushing down my feelings for men, and now I'm bi. So it's like I definitely would be with a bi girl, like no question now, but it's like I'm not a lesbian anymore. So did I really grow? I don't know, because now it's like I mean as a bi person, I'm like, it's not that like I don't, you know, yes, I'm attracted to every gender, but I'm not attracted to every person. Like, I'm so specific. Like, it's very random. I don't have a type. Like, it just depends on energy. So, yeah, that one's fucked up. I feel like I was, when we, like, created the polls, I was trying to, like, get men and see if they were going to do it. But then I was like, wait, you were literally a lesbian that, like, didn't want to date bi women. So maybe this is for the queer community, too.
Yeah, I mean, there is a stigma among men, too. And I feel like they don't like to talk about it as much. But I've definitely had men I've been with be, like, iffy about,
I'll
like...
fuck a bi girl, but...
No, but they would be, like... I've had men be, like... concerned or upset about women I'm friends with commenting on my posts and thinking I'm fucking them and shit like that. Like multiple men
sassy
that I've
men
been with. And it's like they don't understand female relationships or all of that, but that's also just goes down to trust. But at the end of the day, if you're a person who would not date any of these people, don't go on a date with them. If you don't want to go on a date with a woman who wants you to pay the bill, don't go on a date with her.
Bye. Good luck to you. And also, with the fucking women commenting on the picture, it's like, babe, honestly, I wish she was hitting on me, but bi women be playing with me because they compliment me, but it doesn't even, like, I don't know what it means. So, yeah, but they really just don't get it. So, the last poll we asked y'all was, what is the worst type of man to take on a first date? And the winner of that one at 65% was a frat bro. And I couldn't agree more. I feel like some women, like, might go through a phase where, like, they're into that. Like, maybe it's giving bad boy to them. To me, it's just giving stupidity, and you're not going to try to make me come. Like, I've never been into that type of guy. But I love that won because, ew.
I really think that speaks to our audience, too. Like, I feel like Girl, like, and call her daddy and, like, whatever. Like, I feel like they have more of a demographic or audience that's probably more like sorority, like college.
That's what I'm saying. Like
our audience is much less like sorority. Like, and if you are in a sorority or were and you listen to us, like that's totally fine. Like nothing against it. Like we weren't, but like we do have a lot
all
more
power to you.
Underground people. So I feel like that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I would not go on a date with if they were a frat bro. It's a red flag to me.
Exactly. Like I'm so sorry, but it is. And then the next one was a drug dealer at 24%. And I would go on a first date with a drug dealer.
Me too.
I don't really have an issue with it. Like, like I don't have an issue with it. Like, do I want them drug dealing like heroin? Probably not. Like, I can do with like some pills and like Adderall, maybe some Molly here and there, but like weed obviously, but heroin, like stuff that like fentanyl, like I don't know.
Like coke and crack. I don't know. My thing, guys, is like I am not against it. If you make your money how you make your money, but like, and I know a lot of artists do this to like, you know, supplement,
like come up and like
studio time, like all of that, and like it's an image thing as well. I think drug dealers are sexy, but like I can't deal with another guy that's like in and out of jail. So for me, the drug dealer stuff just turns me off because I don't want to be worried about you getting locked up. Like, you know, that's the biggest thing.
Right.
So I wouldn't like it, honestly, if you're a drug dealer at this point in my life, it is a red flag, and I don't know if I would go on a date with you, but it depends on how you move about it.
Right, exactly. You got to be good at it. You feel me? But the last two were both low percents. It was creatives at 9% and a gym bro at 2%. And like, I feel like I get the creatives thing. That was kind of like a funny one we put in because like especially Fiji like gets like obsessed with like their music and their art and like really just like immerses herself in their fucking creations, like whatever it may be. But it's like at the end of the day, like she wants to be with creatives. Like we both like to be with creatives. It was just kind of funny. But a gym bro at 2%, like honestly, I kind of categorized frat bro and gym bro pretty similarly. So I was kind of surprised by that. Like I guess like, I don't know, women just want like, and like queer men and queer people that like also voted, but maybe they just want like a fit man. So they're like, oh, a gym bro's fine. But like, Drew Afualo, like, she goes after the gym bros specifically because those bitches are fat phobic as fuck. So that's why it's like, and so are frat bros. So that's why I kind of categorize them the same, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like creatives and gym bros, it's more like that's their hobby. So it's like, you know, it doesn't necessarily equal that they're like a bad person or they are this type of thing. I think like, I wanted creatives on there because you guys know, like, my type is 100% fucking creatives, but there's a lot of shit that comes with creatives, and, like, creatives and drug dealers can go hand in hand, and also, like, emotional issues with creatives, so they can be, like, very emo or depressed or not have their, like, emotional shit together. Like, my therapist literally told me the other day, like, I need to stop dating creatives, and I don't think I can ever do that. But, like, you know, and same with gym bros. It's like if you're, like, a guy that does steroids and takes testosterone and, like, is super, like, OD about body stuff, like, it can be a turn off.
And it's that, like, it's, like, someone that goes to the gym a lot and, like, it is a part of their personality. Like, that doesn't automatically make them a gym bro. Like, it's the extra shit. Right. It's the, like, counting calories and like only eating like white chicken meat and broccoli with like no salt and pepper. Like it's that shit. It's like that's a whole lifestyle. And like, okay, you're training for the Olympics, a marathon, fine. But like if you're just doing that to like be at peak fucking no body fat, like it's just a little intense for me. And honestly, like it's just not my thing. But like, I guess it's better to be into a gym bro than a frat bro. If I had to rank them, I guess a frat bro is arguably a little bit worse.
Frat bro is definitely the worst. But yeah, let's get into our stories, guys. You guys submitted some funny / terrible ones. I think a lot of us have been on some shitty first dates. So this first one, this girl said, I went on a date with this guy who was literally up my ass about taking me out. So I finally went on a date with him, only for him to not buy me my drink or food and just awkwardly stare at me eating my food that, in capital letters, I paid for, on top of paying for parking. And then he later asked me to help pay for a $200 bill.
And this is why it is the way it is, because bitches go through shit like that, because it's like this listener's story is fucking almost universal. Like we've all had that. Like, I mean, I've never had something extreme as that, but it's like I've definitely like paid for people and then like they would like ask me for money because it's like I bought them one drink one time because I was in a good ass mood and I wanted to like flex my money because I still be on that sometimes. And then it's like they hit me up like, oh, I need $20 for an Uber. I'm like, ew.
Like, no. And also the whole genre of men that be trying to take you out for a minute and then they finally get the chance. And then it's like almost like they have this grudge against you because they've been trying to take you out and then they finally do. They want to like one up you by not paying for it. Like, that is insane. Like she's finally giving you a chance after you've been after it. And then you have the audacity to like try to make her pay for shit. Like, that's crazy.
Fucking insane. Yeah. Okay, so this next listener submitted his car smelled like a garbage can. And it's like, yeah, you're on a first date with someone, their car smells like that. It really says a lot about them. They're not clean and they're not prioritizing their hygiene, and they definitely should be.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I think, like, honestly, like, it's nice if I don't drive, so it's nice if they have a car. But I feel like I would rather Uber. I don't want them to pick me up really as much because then they have to drive you home and then they have the opportunity of asking if they can like fuck if we're not into that, whatever. I think guys, like, if you're trying to do it up extra, call her an Uber. Like, I swear to God, that is so sexy and you are so much more likely to have your dick sucked. Like, the guy I went on a date with that called an Uber Black that picked him up and then picked me up, like, so hot. I didn't fuck him after we just made out, but still, like, if I hadn't,
you're still thinking about him to this day.
About it, I was like, maybe I should hit him up. Honestly, I still have his number, but like,
that's how impactful sexy. It was. Yeah, my ex,
like, that is foreplay to women. Like, calling her an Uber to your date to your restaurant, like, that is foreplay.
It's so sexy. Like, my ex used to Uber me everywhere, and like his car smelled so good. But fuck him, I don't care. But like, I will take those memories and like expect that again. Like, I want that.
Right. And if you're gonna use your car, at least fucking clean it. Like, ew.
Like, come on, bro.
Next one, this man had the audacity to be musty and bring shots to get me lit enough. Hate this man, no. And yeah, again, this is just the men with the bottle and try to be like, oh, like, let's get a bottle and like be musty again. Hygiene, like, be fucking clean.
Yeah, and like, what type of bottle is it? Like a $20 bottle or like a $400? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, what is this? Like, that's sexy to you? You just want to sit on some couch with me and like pass a bottle back and forth? Like, we could really do it out big, and your mind is not. You're not being creative enough.
You want to go on a date with your homeboys, like, get a bottle with your homeboys.
Go ahead.
Chill at his crib and drive around, whatever. Like, that's not the vibe here. Like,
no, fuck no. This next listener just said, didn't ask me about anything. So basically, conversation was so dry, and it makes sense because the conversation fucking won. That's what makes the date, ultimately bad, is the conversation. So, and like Fiji said at the beginning, we feel like the woman should lead the conversation. Yeah. So if you're not even asking her questions about herself, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, because that's a big thing on TikTok too. Like,
right.
Like, girls go on a date and like he didn't ask them a single question about herself, and then he'll be like, "Oh, like, I really liked you. Like, I really liked your vibe. Like, what did you like, dude? What did you like?" So that's a red flag. If you go on a date and they don't ask a single question about you, count. Women who go on dates with guys, count how many questions he asks you. Like, it should be minimum.
It's like the bird test, 7. where it's the question test. No, 100%, because it's also just like, that's what a date is. Like, whether you're trying to fuck or like date forever, like, at the end of the day, like, if you're going to go on a date, it's not a booty call. Like, there's no other reason than getting to know each other. So why are you here, just to like say you went on a date with a girl because you're really gay and you're fucking in the closet? Bitch,
right.
Like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, men, I literally can't. This last
this last one, I can't with this last one. I think this is honestly the best listener story we've ever got, because what the fuck? And like, you cannot make this shit up. Go ahead.
No, this shit is insane. She said, guy brought me to an animal sanctuary, which I don't know. Is that a farm?
Yeah, I think it's just like, it's like a petting zoo vibe. No. It's like animals that were rehabilitated, I think.
Okay.
Like, maybe from a bad situation, now they're happy and peaceful.
Okay, love.
I think.
Sweet. Seems interesting, decent.
Right, could be cool.
So to say. But then he proceeded to tell me, quote unquote, fun facts about hyenas' clitorises before calling pedophilia a sexual orientation.
So he's saying like I'm bisexual. It's like, that's not a bad thing to be a pedophile. It's just a sexual orientation. You're into children. You're into young little children. Bro, that's crazy. And who wants to know anything about the hyena's clitoris? I don't. I think.
What is that? A hobknocker? Is it a hobknocker when you fuck animals?
Ew. Oh my God. Well, that was on iCarly. That's a really dirty joke for children. Oh my God.
So there was a whole thing about all those shits with dirty jokes on those
I know. Those shows were horrible. But anyways.
There was a guy I worked with when I worked at this beach restaurant that tried to get at me. And then my manager was a woman and she was like, don't talk to him. He's like a hobknocker. Like he fucks animals. And I was like, wait, what? But like,
no, ew. I'm actually going to start crying. That makes me really sad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, that's disgusting. So like, animals and children. He's a creep.
Like, it's crazy that he took you to an animal sanctuary, which, if I'm remembering correctly, is a nice and pleasant place. Like, pedophiles go to animal sanctuaries, too. I mean, are you a pedophile? Like, why are you talking about... I would be scared for my life if someone said that to me. I would be running.
Like, pulling the closest, like, worker there and being like, please help me.
Literally. I'll be like, can you pretend I work here and I'm about to clock in for my shift? Like, I'll do anything. I'll clean the floors. Like, dude, I will go hide in the pig's fucking mud pen.
Why are there hyenas at an animal sanctuary, too? Like, that's... Yeah, I don't know. You think he's an animal lover. Turns out he's just...
We need to make sure this listener is, like, okay and, like, blocked him because I'm like, we might need to follow up. Like, this is really bad.
This is really scary.
We will be in touch, okay?
So add animal sanctuaries to the list of places you should not go on a first date.
Apparently, because it's got bad vibes. If anyone ever asks me to go there now, I'm like, hard no.
I'm be like, no. All right, guys, so let's wrap up this topic as we always do, finishing off with what we're wet, dry, and so confused about this topic. So I will start us off. I'm wet about women having standards and raising the bar for the men they give attention to. I've been guilty of having a low-ass bar nearly in hell, where I used to be okay with just driving around with a fucking bottle and calling it a day. But no, we're expecting more. So I'm what about women coming together on TikTok, on Twitter, to be like, this is what we expect from men. And yeah.
Yeah, I guess, like, I'm what about, like, I feel like we, like, share these problematic things a lot, but then we, like, bring it into the context of, like, this is just a dumb account. Like, it's fine. This is not, like, a big, like, influential person doing this. And, like, it is scary that it goes viral, but I'm just wet about context because this shit is frightening. And I don't want, not even just me, but, like, I don't want women to be like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to be a lesbian. I'm going to be single forever. Like, I don't want it to be like that. Like, I get why it's like that 100%. Yeah. But, like, it sucks that it has to be like that. So I guess I'm dry that it is like that. But, yeah, I'm wet that, like, we are at a place where we do know that there's men out there that, you know, wouldn't come back with some list talking about, like, I don't want to be with a woman with tattoos, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely wet about that.
Yeah. I would say I'm dry definitely about how men feel the need to, like, make a counter list or counter argument to any time a woman has, like, standards for herself or expects anything from men. It's like anytime we ask men for the bare minimum, they just gotta, like, make a whole fucking TikTok list thread tweet about how, like, women's standards are too high and we're expecting too much and what do we bring to the table. Like, all that shit is fucking dry. And at the end of the day, like you said, like, I don't think it's all men. I think a good portion of men, like, maybe will like the tweet or
and laugh
to it and laugh. But I would hope that the majority of the men that are doing that get absolutely no pussy, and that's why they're doing that, because they don't get any pussy and they're mad about it. They're damn near incels.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely dry about that shit. Like, dry about the dating prospects. Like, I feel like most men just don't know how to treat a woman in general or on a first date. Like, they don't want to bring shit to the table. I think there's men out there that do. Usually they're from another fucking country and not America. Like the guy went on the best first date I've ever been on. He was not from America.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm dry too, just like about the whole thing of like men being mad about women, like expecting them to pay for the bill. Like that whole argument just like makes me so fucking angry. Like it's really just like such a thing. And it's not even just the bill. It's like paying for anything. And it's the same thing like you said of like, you know, like women shouldn't have standards. Like they shouldn't expect that much. Like I just hate that shit. It makes me so, so angry and so dry. And I feel like I'm confused yet again why men just struggle so hard to like get a bitch. It's like, if you actually just hate women and you want to be with your homeboys instead, fine, bye. But for the men that are like actually straight and like do this shit and are confused why they have no pussy, like there's no hope for you. Like you're never going to figure it out. Like
then they should be listening to this podcast because you have a confused pussy because you're not getting any and you don't know how to treat women. Like genuinely, like I like none of those, and I hope the men that do listen or are listening or whatever, like I hope that you take from this that like all of this bullshit that you don't want women to have standards, that their expectations are too high, take you further and further away from getting a woman. Like the more that you put it in her court and let her be the leader at the beginning, more likely she's gonna let you lead later on. So like, or get pussy or like whatever. So hopefully that happens. I'm still confused about just the future of fucking dating. Like it does feel like a lot of times there's a war between men and women when it comes to like dating and relationships, especially online with all of this discourse, like
right.
with podcasts like ours as women, with male podcasts talking about like Fresh and Fit and like all of this shit. It feels like we're very at odds. So like I'm confused still about how much of the population is like that, and it's hard to see the middle area, and I want to believe there is more of a middle area. Like hopefully we're trying to find it in this podcast, but you know,
we definitely are trying to find it in this podcast. But yeah, that about does it for this episode, y'all. But we definitely want to know what y'all think. I know this episode's coming out like after this like viral list and shit, but you know, we're here, we want to talk about it. But wherever you are, comment below, let us know what you thought. Wherever you're listening, please follow, subscribe, share with a friend that you think would like our podcast. You know, we're very unhinged, but we also come in with the smart ones too. So like duality, baby. But yeah, share with your friends and it would mean the world to us.
Yes, we also have listener support, guys. If you are so kind to want to donate some of your funds to our growth, 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99 a month. It is in our Spotify bio. It really helps us pay for better equipment, trips to see each other, and record more content. We eventually want to have guests, all of the things. So please do that. We love you so much, and we will catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
When he's been looking for a job for more than 3 months.
When he fucks you the exact same way over and over again.
When he cheats.
When he stops texting you goodnight.
When he seems disengaged with every conversation that we're having.
When his explore page is 100% naked women.
When he stops giving a fuck about his hygiene.
When you haven't seen each other in a long time and they're just constantly on their phone.
When the misogynistic comments become more frequent around his homeboys.
When he says it's in men's biology to need a side bitch.
When he hasn't helped out with the housework once in the past month.
When they say they're going to pick you up at one time and always end up showing up an hour late.
When I am doing more than 90% of the emotional labor.